Hey guys, I want to teach you how to make a basic circuit using a Raspberry Pi, which is we're going to make our LED blink. You're going to need a few things before we start out. You're going to need a breadboard, a resistor with any resistance. Mine currently has 220 ohms resistance, an LED, any color, 2 jumper wires, and a Raspberry Pi, of course. So right now, I'm going to show you how to construct this circuit. Then we're going to look at the code later. First, I want you to take your LED, take note of the 2 metal pins. One pin is longer than the other. We're going to keep track of that. The longer pin is your positive side, and this shorter pin is your negative side. So we're going to take each pin and we're going to insert it into the breadboard. You're going to take the longer pin and insert it to one of these rows on your breadboard, and take the other pin and make sure you put it in a different row. That is important. So once that is inserted, you're going to take your resistor, and remember we keep track of the long side. Mine right now is long side over here, short side over here. We're going to take our resistor and we're going to connect it to the same row on the shorter side of your LED. Then we're just going to put it in put the other pin in a different row, like that. So what you want to do right now, you want to take these 2 jumper wires, you're going to connect them to your Raspberry Pi. You can look up online a pinout of your Raspberry Pi. For this circuit, we're going to connect 1 jumper wire to ground and another jumper wire to LED 21. So right now, this wire is ground, and this wire is GPIO 21. Alright, once you have your circuit ready, we can start typing out the code. I am currently connected to my Raspberry Pi remotely through my own laptop, so I can actually record what I'm typing out. But if you're on your Raspberry Pi, you can open up any text editor, write out the code, and run it, and it will work the same. So right now, I'm going to make a file called led.py. Then we can start the code. First, I will import my libraries. We're going to first import GPIO 0, and we're going to import LED. Then from time, we're going to import sleep. These are the 2 libraries we need for our code. Once you have that done, we can initialize the pin that we use for LED. Remember earlier I said we're going to use GPIO 21. So we're going to create a variable called LED. We're going to run this function called LED as well. And then we're going to put in the 21 for GPIO 21. That is going to initialize our GPIO 21 on our Raspberry Pi to output to the LED. Once you have that done, you can make your while loop. Then we're going to say LED turn on. And then we're going to pause for a little bit. I'm going to say LED off. Then we're going to pause a bit again. This whole line of code right here, it's going to turn on the LED, pause a little bit, turn it off, pause a little bit. That's going to make our blinking function, and that's all you need for the code. Now once you have that typed out, you can run your code and you can check if your LED starts blinking on and off. If you run the code right now, you can notice that the LED is starting to turn on and turn off. And that means you have the circuit constructed correctly and you have the code right. And congratulations, you constructed your blink circuit.